Caroinus orientalis, oriental hornbeam, collected in Croatia, close to the Mediterranean Sea, now sitting in Zagreb, which is north, which is the capital of Croatia. And this tree has some history. It was a bigger tree a few years ago and almost died. And Sebastian Sandev, my host, put it then into this big pot. The pot is way too big, we know that. And let it grow freely, and now it's regaining health, and it looks like it has made it grow like a weed. Okay, now this is a very nice material for a naturalistic sort of style, almost like a fairy tale style, with these typical holes which the trees must have, because they have very long trunks or branches which have to be cut. So if you don't like the holes, then this tree is not for you. We like them. We think they are part of the feature of the tree. This root is interesting, a lot of character. However, the root is very wide. Now Sebastian has the idea to make this crown also very wide, wider than normal, in order to mirror the width of the roots. So the idea is to make a crown which is that wide and then rather flat, meaning this tree is much wider than it is high, which is against what we have learned, but it's also a way of doing it. So it's even in proportion. If it's 2/3 and 1/3, then I think it's a good proportion. And I would never ever make a triangular crown. Always is a rather flat but slightly roundish thing. I would try to make this crown not too spherical, not like hedge pruned. It should look more like a cloud, like that. Possibly one higher and one lower here. And that's about it. It has two fronts. What you now see is the other front, which is very interesting also, especially with this hole here. So of course we can speak about this pot. That's a nice but not very expensive Chinese pot. It's way too big for that tree. But if you have this very wide crown, it may even be right. We don't know. The problem is with this kind of roots, the pot must be like this anyway. So even if you have a normal pot, it's still a very wide pot. So you better have a very wide crown. Otherwise, it will look kind of strange. Then we have a very typical phenomenon. Here you see this white thing. That's a stone. These don't grow in regular sort of nice soil. They grow between stones. Down at the Mediterranean coast, everything is stones, just stones. It's and in between these trees grow, and they are full of stones in the roots, and sometimes it's very difficult to get them out. Then we decide to leave them in, and it's part of the design. So this is a white stone, very typical for Croatia. There is no thing as a black stone in Croatia. They're all white. Now, we have in the old days thought, this is not good, because in Japan they tell you that this must be a black stone, and then we do something like, for example, we could paint this. We could actually take acrylic paint and paint this dark. And we said, no, we don't do that. It's an honest Croatian tree which has a white stone, period. Okay, we'll leave it. It's a feature of that tree. Okay, so this is a tree with some future, some interest. I think I look forward to see this very, very wide crown as a new feature, sort of, and which does not look like any other before. Okay, so good luck.